Hello guys and welcome to episode 19 of my Rome 2 Total War campaign, Caesar and Gaul playing as the Romans. Today we're going to be continuing by taking the 5th Legion and attacking Vienna. But before we do just that, I am going to go ahead and upgrade my patrician, probably his scholar skill, so we get the extra research rate. That's always very useful. And we're also going to move on my spy, so we're going to make her check out this village just here. So that is Duro Corteron, and it looks like they're suffering from a lot of attrition. Anyway, back to the 5th Legion. That's pretty much everything done for this turn other than the attack on Vienna, so I'm going to move straight on and do just that.
That path is blocked.
So there's only a couple of armies actually defending, but due to the fact that I don't want to lose too many men, I'm probably going to go ahead and take on the attack myself. So let's jump straight in and fight this one on the battle map. Okay, so we have fog. We're probably going to wait that out, see if we can get dry. Nope, looks like we're going to have to deal with fog. No problem there. And I'm just thinking about where we should attack from. Possibly just from this location. If we just go through this gap right here, we can attack straight into the square without having to get held up in any choke points. So that'll probably work out quite well. And we can also send the cavalry in this side and run around the back if we need to. So probably going to do just that. Let's get our men all together. We'll probably start with these three guys. Stick them at the front, put them in a group. Get these guys just behind, stick those in a group. And my general unit with another couple of legionaries behind them in a third group. That'll do nicely. We'll get these slingers together. Get the levy freemen together. We'll get the legionary cavalry together. And that is that. So we'll start the battle here. And we'll begin moving the legionaries towards the settlement. Now, I'm not sure if they'll quite fit in there. Oh, it looks like they just about will.
Enemy
Look at that.
Approaching.
That is going to be a nasty amount of legionaries coming through that gap. If they decide to hold me just here, then that's going to get pretty ugly as my legionaries start to hack down the enemy. And let's get these skirmishers up as well. Make sure that they're just behind. And now we've got to go ahead and find the other army, because the last thing I need is the reinforcing army to come up behind me. Not sure quite where they're coming from. Oh, speak of the devil. They are literally right behind me. So we've got a couple of units of slingers there, and they will have some spear nobles. Maybe I can take them out quickly with these legionary cavalry. Let's see if we can do just that. Be useful if I could. Might hold back these levy freemen to attack the spear nobles. And then by doing that, I will be able to charge them in the back with the legionary cavalry. That's what I'm planning at least. Charging these slingers in the back. I'm going to get these levy freemen to run into the forest here and help us out. I'm going to retreat these legionary cavalry before they take too much damage. Get them completely out of there. And then we can engage them with the levy freemen instead. My legionaries are in position, but it doesn't look like the enemy wants to attack me, so I'll leave them there for now while we deal with this skirmish.
Get ready! Levy freemen!
So we'll be engaging them here, and then we can send the cavalry around the back to clean up the slingers. And then we can charge the spear nobles in the back. Actually, I might just send one unit of cavalry to deal with the slingers and the other one to run straight into the back of the enemy. We'll use a flying wedge and we'll use Draco and we'll go straight in. So that should severely crush their morale, or at least that's what I'm hoping, and then the levy freemen at the front will be able to deal more damage. Meanwhile at the back we've got the cavalry catching up with some of the slingers, which is chewing them up completely, shaking them up. Still not being attacked in the town, making sure of that. Cavalry have been turned upon though, so I am going to take them out of that melee. And then we'll charge them again once we've dealt with these slingers. So a nice wedge formation there. See, he's going to just annihilate that slinger unit. Holy crap! Look how far those men went flying. Right, now we're going to bring them back and charge onto the spear nobles. Hopefully we can get into a nice flying wedge formation before they attack. Looks like they're just about doing that. Here we go. Another strong charge into the back of this unit. They weren't braced for it, so that's going to do tons of damage. Start to see their unit number severely drop as the men die. Unfortunately, the cavalry is taking quite a lot of damage as well. We'll charge in with the second unit as we get the first one out of the way. There we go. We'll sing round the first unit, come in again, and then we'll leave them there to clean up.
The enemy general is dead.
So I'm hoping that this unit doesn't hang around for much longer. We have lost quite a lot of men to this one unit. You can see both my levy freemen have taken a massive amount of
Our
damage.
men flee the field of battle.
It looks like even one of the levy freemen are starting to run away. That's a bit annoying because it's going to momentarily boost the morale of the spear nobles. But hopefully with the levy freemen in the backs of these spear nobles we will be able to finish them off shortly. Right, while that's going on we will start to move these legionaries on in the centre. Start to space them out a bit more. Make the ranks a bit thinner. We get the skirmishers up behind. There we go. Spear nobles dealt with. Get the cavalry to come round at the right just here. Need to turn off their flying wedge so I can actually bring them in. Oh, doesn't it like they can run through this gap? That's kind of annoying. They have to go all the way around. Okay. We'll get the levy freemen to catch up with the main army. But that'll probably use them. And now we can go ahead and charge towards the enemy. So we're going to send 2 units towards each unit we can see, and then we're going to bring up the skirmishers, 2 units on this side with their skirmish ability turned off, and 1 unit on this side with the skirmish ability off, and they should be able to do a lot of damage while we charge them down. So this is a spear nobles unit. They are going to be able to defend for quite a while. Hopefully the legionaries will do a lot of damage. We've managed to break through completely on the right here as the slingers we were chasing started to run away. So I am just going to use this unit to charge into the back of the melee, and we're going to bring these legionaries across to stand in this small gap here. So I'm hoping that these skirmishers start doing a little bit of damage at least. Maybe getting them into a better position. Nope. We're going to get these legionaries to run forwards towards the enemy so that we stop getting skirmished. We're going to get these skirmishers to run around the side and get these 3 units that are idle to move up. we caught up to some Celtic skirmishers. We've also caught up to some Celtic tribesmen, but they're not going to last very long at all. We need to make sure that we continue pushing though, because we don't want to be held up by these units, otherwise we are going to take a lot of damage. You can see this one unit of legionaries is taking tons of damage. Not really something we can afford. That one volley there from this Celtic skirmishers did a nice amount of damage. What would be good is to get our cavalry to come up and clean up these. We can actually get a unit to spread out completely behind this engagement
Our general is under attack.
and run in. We get a unit of legionaries to stand and plug the gap. So we need to get one to chase after this unit of slingers.
One of our units has used all its
Seems
ammunition.
this unit of legionaries is completely peppered with javelins. So they're only down to 30 men now, but I'm hoping the cavalry will catch up soon enough before that legionary unit completely dies. Unfortunately, they're going to be pretty exhausted from their long run from the other engagement. But here we're doing well to just slaughter as many as possible in the settlement. It'll give us a little bit of XP, I guess. Other than that, it's a bit pointless, because the garrison's going to disband anyway as soon as we win the battle. And the second unit of cavalry is taking ages. They're completely exhausted. I'm not sure how this is going to work though, because if they start splitting up, then I'm going to be in big trouble, because these cavalry aren't going to be able to engage like all of the units at once, which is what I'm really scared of. So as you can see here, these skirmishers able to throw a huge volley into the back of my men. I'm going to have to pretend to charge them over and over again just to make sure that they don't stick around. Now these guys are routing, I am going to continue the charge into the back of these, make them rout as well. And hopefully they will all just disband shortly. So they're shattered. I need to get these guys to shatter as well. Those are gone. And we're going to continue with this last unit of skirmishers. So my second unit of cavalry comes along finally and scares them off. And that's fine, we're going to go ahead and end the battle there. Decisive victory. I think we lost a few more men than I had hoped, but still turned out reasonably well. We lost 464 men. They lost 2,080. And we managed to kill the general of the other army, but I'm not sure if that army is going to die, because they do have a unit left. We'll have to wait and see. Go ahead and occupy Vienna.
Your next command.
Nope, looks like I was right. The enemy army is going to be able to retreat and will probably pose a threat in the next turn, but we can probably just run it down with the 5th Legion, so that's not going to be too much of an issue. But looks like Gaius Cassius Longinus has increased in rank, so we can go ahead and give him another skill. I always like the Dread skill, so we're going to go with that. +1 zeal and -10% morale for all enemy units. Works incredibly well on Levy Freeman. That is pretty much everything done for this turn though. Oh, actually, before I forget, I must turn on the tax in Aquitania. And that is going to put us up to 2,927 from around 800 I think I was on. So that is a huge boost, and thank you very much to the person in the last video who wrote that in the comments. Big thank you to you, because that is some very useful information that I nearly completely forgot about. I think we've got the taxes turned off in Transalpina as well. Yes we do, but the public order there is terrible, so I'm going to maintain that for as long as possible. Now in Massalia, I am actually going to use the money we have at the moment to introduce a sacred grove, just to make sure the happiness doesn't cause this province to go into rebellion, because that would be really annoying, and we'd probably see a resurgence of the Vocontii, and it's not really something I want to see. So Pollentia is well defended. Hopefully the cause of Andata will just go straight into that, and next turn we can crush them completely. Anyway, let's move on to the next turn. Oh crap. I did not see that. Well, it looks like the claws of Andata have taken it upon themselves to outmaneuver me and move on to Velum. Now I hate losing battles in this unnecessarily, but it looks like this is going to be one of them. I'm going to try my best to find this on the battle map anyway. We'll see how it goes. I'm not really holding any hopes. So it looks like their army is actually split in three. I think this is the first time I've ever seen AI actually split up its army. They've got a big clump of men over here, they've got a big clump of men over here. And they're all going to be heading straight for this sector. So that's what we want to defend. I don't know why all my men are over here. They're all just in the square, I guess. But we are going to have to defend this area. Now, there's only, I think, 2 places from which they can attack, unless this army comes round the back here. They're only going to come from here and through here. Now the thing I'm worried about the most in this battle is their skirmishers, but there isn't going to be much I can do about it. So I'm just going to get the Vigilades to plug the gaps that I can see. So there's one there, we can get one here, and we can get one behind us. Okay, that one's going to be backed up by Levy Freeman. We can always bring them back if we need to. We're going to get all of the plebs to just stand around because they're not very useful. We'll get some skirmishers to face this way, some skirmishers to face this way. We'll turn off their skirmish abilities. Then we're going to keep the legionaries safe in the middle for now, and we can use them as a reinforcement to the unit of Vigilades that gets attacked the hardest. And that's pretty much what we're going to do. So this is just about doing as much damage as possible to this army before the First Legion comes and saves the city. So that will do. Let's listen to the general speech.
If we have bravery in our hearts, the gods will favor us with victory. This I firmly believe. To arms!
Yeah, woo. Right. They all know that Caesar's going to come to save the day eventually. Oh dear, we got some mercenary Gallic light horse charging straight into my Vigilades. I'm not sure how they're going to deal with this. They are just going to brace, and hopefully that won't do too much damage. Oh, that's a nice volley there. Oh, wow, okay, I didn't see that coming. The Celtic skirmishers just threw a huge volley into that Gallic light horse as they were about to charge. That did a ton of damage. It's a shame the second volley missed mostly. Killed a couple more men, but nothing massive. That was epic. I completely stopped that charge. I thought the Vigilades were going to get destroyed by that, but apparently not. So that's a nice amount of damage. And let's see what's happening with the troop movement. So they are sending a couple around this way, that's kind of annoying. They've got some Gallic light horse running about over here. They found a small gap on the side of this area here. Maybe they'll funnel some troops down there, that'll probably work out quite well for us if they do. Over here we've got these Levy Freemen throwing a huge volley into the Vigilades. We are going to brace for that impact. And we're going to tell the skirmishers to actually fire into that. Oh dear, no you don't. No you don't. That's really, really cheeky. Right, I'm going to get these men to move forwards and attack the youths instead. Because these youths are attacking these Vigilades, and that's not very nice. And the trouble is with the Vigilades, they can't really defend themselves. I'm going to get them into the melee. and then they can't be fired upon. Right, we'll get these skirmishers to turn around and start firing back at the Celtic youths. Over on this side, let's get the levy freemen to help out the Vigilades. And we've got our legionaries defending against cavalry and some mercenary Gallic warriors. Right, let's get some plebs to run in there, we'll get some plebs over here, and we'll get some plebs to help out our general unit. Plebs are always nice and useless, but try and use them nonetheless, because they're there, and we may as well use them while they have decent morale, otherwise there's not much point. Right, let's use the skirmishers to throw some javelins onto the cavalry, because that's the only target they can really hit.
Flee the field of battle. This is a shameful display.
We're going to use the whip to make our legionaries more effective, but we are being targeted by these archers. They're able to fire from quite a nice angle onto my men. I'm just hoping that my skirmishers here can do enough damage to these cavalry. Looks like on this side my Vigilades are going to rout soon. Hopefully my levy freemen won't do the same. Please don't. Oh dear lord, that's going to cause a massive chain rout. Those levy freemen had like 103 men left. Why would they rout? Why are they routing? Not fair. I think the plebs just basically made everything chain rout. I probably shouldn't have sent them into the melee. That is just horrible. That's like a slaughter. I think we did hold them quite well. It'd be nice to see how many losses the enemy actually took, but I don't think it's half as many as I had hoped. Right, let's go ahead and end that. We lost 775, they lost 413. Pretty terrible. Definitely terrible. So, there goes the poor Velum garrison, and that's going to be taken over momentarily by the Alabrojers. I don't think Caesar's going to be too happy about that. So, edict cancelled in Serbia because we lost that settlement. That's really annoying. Economic archive finished though, which is nice. And we have the province now contested, of course. So our technology finished, which is good. That's going to give us plus 10% wealth from all commerce. And now we can move on to get advanced construction techniques. I'm going to go for that. And then we'll move on to probably production lines or perennial irrigation. We'll have to wait and see. But let's see if we can actually introduce an edict somewhere else where it's more needed. I can actually probably do it in Transalpina. I'm going to go ahead and do just that. We'll add Bread and Games Edict, and that will make it go up to +7. Would be nice. And then in Vasio, I think we're going to actually build a villa here and a quarry. Those will both eventually give us money. I'm probably going to turn the villa into a herding ground. We will upgrade this second consecrated ground into a shrine of Jupiter, and then the public forum can probably just be turned into a wine trader maybe, or a cattle trader if I make this villa into a herding ground. So that's probably the best way to go with that. Right, so now the second legion's free. We can use him to sit in Vienna while he replenishes, and then we can get the 5th legion to chase the Razorbacks across the mountains. So the Razorbacks are probably the majority mercenaries now, because I did completely destroy them in the last turn. So yeah, that army's probably completely mercenaries and then a new general. We have the 1st legion here, hopefully can attack Velum. Yes, they are in range, thank God. So we are going to be able to liberate that city very shortly. Now this is going to be a pretty big battle, but I don't think they're going to last very long, to be honest. I have plenty of siege equipment. We have some very effective legionaries, which are going to crush those levy freemen. We have a light horse, we have Celtic skirmishers, and of course we have Caesar. That's all we need. Let's jump straight in and fight this one on the battle map. So we're going to wait, and we're going to keep it dry. Now the enemy sallied forth to attack me, which is really cool because it's going to allow us to win this open field battle quite easily. We're going to line up our legionaries in one massive line. Probably going to keep the ranks reasonably thin. And then we can support them with the skirmishers, who I'm going to turn off skirmish mode. Get the Celtic warriors, one on each flank. And they can stand just behind the scorpions. So I'm probably going to get the scorpions back a bit. And we'll get the swordsmen to stand behind them. Ballistas can sit behind the main line with Caesar, and my light horse can sit upwards on the hill and can be used to cut down some of the slingers as they begin to attack me. So that's my strategy. We'll go ahead and start the battle there. The scorpions can hopefully be used right from the start to whittle down some of their units. The ballistas can already fire, so I'm going to use them to attack straight into these spear nobles. We are going to maintain stone shot so that they roll through the enemy forces. They aren't really clumped up enough to use explosive shots, so stone shot it is. We only have one unit of ballistas, so the collateral damage isn't going to be that great. But it's still going to do quite a lot to that unit. Scorpions are impaling quite a lot of men. Oh, especially on this side, the scorpions are ripping to pieces the Gallic light horse. That's really nice to see. Now what I'm going to do is get my light horse to engage their light horse. Get one unit to go in with a frenzied charge. And we'll get the scorpions to stop firing at them. The unit on this side. Looks like the light horse are trying to outmaneuver me. But they took a ton of damage for trying to do so. Celtic warriors did kind of get a bit caught out there by the charge, but we're pretty much slaughtering those units now. Right, let's get these light horse into position behind the enemy. We'll get the unit of Celtic scorpions to get back onto the scorpions. And now what we're going to do, quickly pause the game and get our men to engage their melee forces. Right, so we'll do this from left to right. We'll see our entire line shift as we engage them. So they are going to have some extra units on the right here, but they're probably going to be able to be dealt with by my Celtic warriors. And it looks like my skirmishers are already engaging, so that's nice. Once the front line is engaged, we can bring down the light horse to attack the skirmishers. We're going to stop these ballistas from firing now until we get a better target. On the right side, we are going to use the Celtic warriors here, charge towards these levy freemen. So we've engaged them heavily here. These Gallic warriors, mercenary Gallic warriors, are being chopped up by this one unit of legionaries, which is leaving a slight hole in the line, and that is going to be filled by this unit. So we're now running down the back line with the light horse, breaking through the left flank by the looks of things as well. I'm going to bring the light horse out wide so we avoid the spear nobles, and then we can charge back in to the back of the hunters and Celtic youths. So we're going to continue the men charging forwards to make sure that we maintain the route. And we're going to get my general involved, get Caesar some kills. I'm going to tell him to go and kill these Celtic slingers, who are actually doing quite a lot of damage to this one unit of legionaries. These guys are going to get massacred. See, as they try and run away, they're just getting shot down. Charge straight into the back of these fellas. This unit of light horse can be used to clean up these slingers. This unit of light horse over on the left can run down the hill and kill some of the fleeing men. Caught out some Celtic youths there with my warriors, and they're going to get massacred as well. So we're going to continue this battle just to make sure that we wipe out the army completely. I think they are defending a settlement though, so the army will die anyway. But oh well, get us some more kills. There's a lot of men to kill, so we'll quickly speed this up. We'll make sure that the majority of them are dead. And by doing so, we guarantee that the units get destroyed.
Our hidden units have been discovered.
Right, that'll do. We'll quit the battle there. Decisive victory. We lost 174 men and massacred 2,490. Goodbye to the Allobroges. Give me back Velum. Let's go ahead and occupy it. And we have done well to get Gaius Julius Caesar to rank 9. That is pretty impressive. Now I'm not sure because he's Caesar that he gets extra like bonus XP, because rank 9 is actually quite high. I don't think I've ever had a rank 9 general in the Iceni campaign. But let's go ahead and upgrade his strategist skill to make him amazing at strategy, as Caesar was in real life. And there we go. So Velum is ours. Now all we got to do is chase down the Razorbacks, and the Allobroges are gone for good. And we can focus our efforts on the Germans. So that should be very, very interesting. Let's have a quick look at the event messages before we move on. So we got settlement lost, we got sabotage attempt, we got army destroyed, first garrison, we got trade gained by Julius Caesar, minus 40% attritional losses when besieging. That's really good actually. Province under control now, yep, and Velum's ours. Great. Okay, so unfortunately that has been my time, and therefore I'm going to have to end the episode right here. But it looks like we have a good way to go in terms of the campaign. A lot of big battles to come. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this episode. We went through 3 battles, so quite a lot. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye.